Hello my dudes, welcome back to All the Mods 10 Modded Minecraft and our new playthrough of Minecolonies, the Siege of Littleton. So something has happened. You're probably wondering why me and Dunny are here looking at the ground and where my mustache has gone. Well, we'll get to that in a second, but let me show you what happened.
Hey, wake up. Finally. I don't know what you were dreaming about or who this Samwise Gamgee is, but we don't have time to waste, and I need your help. This world has been overrun by barbarian hordes, bigger than you could possibly imagine. It's going to take me time to construct a portal out of here, and I'm going to need the power of 500 souls to fuel it. Don't worry, they won't be harmed like Byzantine, I think. We're going to need a huge army to hold off the barbarians. So what are you waiting for? Get building a colony, mister.
So we have awoken in this strange new world, and we have to defend Dunny while she rebuilds the portal to get us out of here. And we're going to need to build a colony that can hold 500 dudes to power that portal. Not only that, but we've made some changes to Minecolonies as well. We've jacked up some numbers, so we're going to get some massive raids happening this series. We've maximized the amount of barbarians that can spawn, which means when we do get raids, they're going to be huge. Not only that, we've lowered the amount of nights that have to pass before a raid, so on average, we're going to get a raid every 5 nights in Minecraft. That's insane. This is going to be quite the siege. We're going to be using a new style called Littleton. It's a very cool style and I can't wait to show you guys, but let's get started in our playthrough of modded Minecraft, Minecolonies, All the Mods 10. So yeah, with this playthrough we're really going for a heavy challenge. That's why the game difficulty is also on hard, because we don't want this to be easy. Also, let me just punch this tree quickly. And yeah, let's get some basic tools. We're going to need a crafting table on a stick for one. This is the most essential craft you can make. Early game, combine a stick with a crafting table. You get a crafting table on a stick, put it into your curios right there, and now at the press of a button, we have a 3x3 crafting table anywhere we go. Very essential. What are some other things we're going to need? Well, obviously, we're going to need some tools. So we'll start with a wooden pickaxe. It's kind of pointless to make the other wooden tools. That orange will come in handy. But we'll dig down, get some stone, so we can get some quick and dirty stone tools. 3 stone paxels and a sword, that's going to be a great place for us to start. So also another big thing we want to do, we want to go through all of the most important steps for getting started as a beginner in All the Mods 10. So number 1, we set home to right next to Dunny. So in a pinch we can come back here, and this is going to be our base. Now we've preloaded the world. What does that mean? Well, when we go to journey map, oh my god, and zoom out a bit, everything is discovered. Not everything, we've had to have some borders, but we're down here in the bottom right of the world, it looks like, on this island. This is going to be the perfect place for our colony. Looks really cool. Let's look at the topography of this. Okay, yeah, and you can see with the topography, this area is mostly flat. We're going to be aiming for a really defensible colony. Because the raids are going to be so big, the thing we're going to be focusing on with this series is making sure our colony has really good guards. It's all about the military this time around, because if we can't protect the colony, we can't protect Dunny. And if we can't protect Dunny, well yeah, she can't make the portal and we can't escape this planet. Now you guys are probably wondering where my mustache has gone and why my pose looked so cool. Well, let me tell you why I looked so cool. So we've added a couple of mods as well. We've got Epic Knights mod, which is going to add a whole bunch of really cool armor and weapons we can equip our guards with. You'll see that this is compatible as a citizen tool and armor. And this goes for all of these armor sets and weapons. These are going to make our colonists look really cool as guards. And absolutely, if you guys at home want to become colonists in this series, make sure you become a Patreon or YouTube member. You can either find the Discord channel on our community Discord and post the name there, or what you can also do is in the comments below, add a post there with your name. We'll put these on name tags and make sure all of our colonists have your guys' names. Pretty exciting. Now we're going to be focusing on two things, magic and medieval. That's the whole vibe with this colony. We're definitely going to be going into Ars Nouveau, so this archwood tree on our border is very useful. There we go, perfect. This wood is going to come in very, very handy. What else do we need though? Well, there's a couple of things we're really fishing for. Number one, let's have a look around and see where the closest village is. There's one just over here. That's going to make a good raid. So we're going to go over, make ourselves a chest over at Dunny. We'll go home, set up a chest. Might need a couple of these, and yeah, now we can just come back here, drop off our stuff whenever we need to, and that's going to make gathering things out in the world so much simpler. We've also customized and jacked our mini-map. Check this out. Yeah, it's nice and big, makes things very easy. So if we want to spot like a chicken or a cow, we can easily do so. They're very visible on the map. We don't need chickens though, we don't need cows. The thing we're really gunning for right now is, well, what are the basic things you need when you start? Number one, we need a bed. We've got to survive this first night. It's in hard mode, and with no weapons, no armor, we're sitting ducks. So defending ourselves against whatever may be is essential, and sleeping through the night so monsters don't spawn is also really, really, really important. So here's a sheep. We'll kill this. It might get us some wool. It did. Amazing. So what's the other cool mod we've installed? Where did my mustache go? And why did I look so cool when we started the episode? Well, we've installed also something called Epic Fight Mod. Epic Fight Mod is really, really, really cool. Now, you guys have been asking me to install Epic Fight Mod for a long time, and I finally did. So with Epic Fight Mod, you bind a key that puts you into fight mode. So we'll go into third person to show you this. Got my stone sword, and if I tap the button, boom, we enter cool pose. And now, check this out. So, start swinging. Oh yeah, and this makes combat look so much cooler. Oh my god, it's amazing. Let's get a front view. Slicing this sheep. I don't know if we do more damage like this. It feels like we do. You can also crouch, and you get this really cool animation. Honestly, the animations for this mod are really tight, really cool. Also, you walk a bit different, like you're constipated. Okay, very interesting. And also there's a very cool run animation as well. Oh man, it looks so good. And a spin attack. But basically, yeah, when I enter this animation, my mustache flies off for some reason. So if you ever see me without a mustache, it's because I'm in epic fight mode. So here we are in the village. Number one thing we want to do is pick up some villagers and put them in our pockets. So hold shift, right click, get these in our pocket. We'll go for 3 as a safe amount. Usually you only need 2, but 3 to be safe. And there's a guy in here. Now, there's obviously also some other good loot. We've got enough wool to make a sleeping bag. That's an essential craft this early in the game. And we've got a bit of rain. That's why we want to sleep through the first night. So there's going to be some other cool stuff in this village. Let's take a look around, see what we can pilfer. But we do want to get into Minecolonies, get the colony started very quickly. Oh my god. That's the luckiest find I've had all day. A supply camp. There's also a spruce log and some spruce saplings. Oh, that's essential. These are the 2 big things I was really hoping I would find, and it's amazingly lucky that we did. We're also going to dig up these bookshelves because books are essential for getting started with Ars Nouveau. Now we've got all we need. The night is falling. We'll have a sleep and then we'll head home. So we're back at home. We'll put a few things into the chest that we don't need right now. What we will need though is some spruce. So we'll get a couple of these saplings planted. And down go the spruce saplings. Basically we want spruce because the style we've gone for, which is Littleton style, is heavily spruce. It's pretty much the only wood we need. So this forest will help to start with. What I'd also like to do though is set up a very simple create tree farm because we're going to need a lot of spruce logs and that's really a no-brainer craft. So the supply camp, let's plant this down straight away because this always comes with some really good resources to get you started. We'll find somewhere quite out of the way though because we don't want the supply camp cramping up the center of our colony. We don't want it anywhere near the portal. So we'll put it over here, I reckon. This empty spot here looks pretty good. Now, what is Littleton as a style? Well, it's kind of like the name suggests, a very small style. It gives you little buildings, and that's really cool. Really handy for us. It's going to make planning a really big colony much easier. So we'll right click with this, select the style, and we're going right here, Littleton by Thalar. If you want to get Littleton yourself, there is a link in the video description where you can find it. I've also included a link to a website that shows you all of the available styles and gives you a preview of all of the buildings. It's a very cool website, so check it out. Now we've got the supply camp here, and what does this thing look like? Oh yeah, and true to its word, it is quite a small camp. Not massively small, it's still got some size to it. But we'll get rid of these weird small trees over here. And let's get a better look at this supply camp. So the supply camp comes with, it looks like, a nice big tree. Okay, that's not too bad. It's not on the big side, but we get a melon, we get an azalea bush, very good. Bamboo scaffolding over here, and there's some barrels and chests with all kinds of stuff. Now, usually supply camps hide special blocks like diamond and stuff. So let's see if we can have a poke around inside the foundations and see what we see. Do we see any diamonds or anything? No, I'm not seeing anything. So that is another weird change. I think this supply camp, because it's like a custom made one, doesn't give you any cheaty freebies, which is a bit of a shame. So as supply camps go, it ranks on the lower side on the power scale, but it's still a pretty cool looking camp. And what are we going to do? That's right, have a drink. We're going to pull the trigger. Bam! And there we go, the supply camp. So let's take a fish around this thing, see what it has to offer. So initially we have some stripped oak logs, a campfire, some wooden tools, which are honestly kind of pointless. We're already at stone paxels, so what's the point? There is, however, some wheat that could come in handy for bread, so we'll farm it up, it'll grow back. There's the azalea over there. There's also a nice amount of storage, so this can become our new player house, and we can start dumping things over here. Inside the barrels and chests, there's not much. There's obviously the build tool and the town hall, essential for getting started. There's also some meat. Any other barrels around here we can raid? Nothing outside it looks like. Let's take a look inside. And inside, what have we got? Barrels in the roof? There's nothing in here. Barrels in the floor? Also nothing. 32 coal, that's all you get. Wow, as supply camps go, this is really on the cheap side. But home is home, and I'm happy with this. So what's the next step? Well, we're going to want to set up some early game resource generation. The two things we're going to go for is a create tree farm and an easy villagers iron farm. So to get both of these, well, we're going to need some iron and some andesite. In all the mods 10, there are a few rocks that can spawn around the top of the world that often have some ore. This looks like one down here, so let's go and take a look at this. So not only have we added mods, we've also taken some away. We've removed, oh wait, it's over here, isn't it? We've removed Pam's Harvest Craft. Why have we done that? Because, simple reason, colonists can't really eat Pam's Harvest Craft foods. And to save us from having to, fish through a million recipes, we thought we'd just remove the mod because it's not any good for us. Here we go, some iron. Nickel we can't get because we need an iron pickaxe, but this copper is going to come in handy too. Coal we can use. And there's some more iron and copper down here. Lovely stuff. This is going to be great for us. These little boulders with ore in them are a really good addition to all the mods 10. They help out a lot because often you have to go and find little bits of copper and iron to get started. These boulders save you that trouble. You don't have to dig down. You don't have to make a mine yet. You can find the ore on the overworld. That's really, really, really handy. Only 3 iron from that though, so we're going to need to find another one and get some more of this ore. Oh, no, there's a little kind of spelunky cave down here. This could come in handy too. So grab this iron, we'll get a nice amount, see if we can find some andesite as well. It shouldn't be too hard, but it might be. You never know. So the question is, why are we doing this instead of setting up a colony straight away? Well, what we really want to do is get the passive resource generation things we're going to go for set up and ready to rock, because these are going to get things in the background. We want them running as early as possible. There's some iron. That's a nice amount. 17 raw iron. I won't say no to that. We'll get some more copper as well. Hopefully there's some more iron around this little thing. So what's the best thing to do with your early ores? Well, obviously you want to smelt it. Now, we're going to make, I think, 3 furnaces for now. And these are going to be basic ones. You can use deep slate if you can find that instead of cobblestone. Makes no difference, really. It's just easier for us. Whoopsie. And into here we go. We'll put a couple of coal. Lovely stuff. And we want to get some copper smelted up first. This is the big important thing to smelt. Copper isn't super useful, so we can waste this with inefficient smelting. We're looking for enough copper to make 2 blocks. While we wait for that, let's bookmark some recipes that we're going to need. So we need an iron farm from Easy Villagers. That's a big one. We're also going to need a spell book from Ars Nouveau. That's a big craft. We're going to want a scribe's table from Ars Nouveau. That's pretty essential. Also, we're going to want to set up some Zycraft machines. So Zycraft machines, we'll put one of these on the left, an extractor. We're also going to need a few things from Create. And these are the things we're going to need to set up that Create tree farm that'll get us all of the spruce we need. Although already a lot of these trees have grown, so we're looking pretty good so far. Let's cancel this copper, get everything out, because we don't want to waste the coal just yet. Now we have the copper, we can make a couple of blocks and turn these blocks into, we'll need some more sticks, an ore hammer. What this lets you do is you combine it with the iron, it creates iron dust. You get twice as much dust, and this dust smelts into iron bars. So it makes no sense whatsoever to not crush your iron into dust at this point. And before long, we're going to have some iron. So we need iron for the Easy Villagers iron farm. We need a bucket with lava in. We'll need some glass. So we'll go and grab some sand to smelt that up, and some cooked stone won't be a problem. So this iron is smelting away really nicely, but we do need some glass as well. So we'll put some sand in this one and put the other half in the chest next to it. So now we have 31 iron ingots. What do you want to spend this on? Usually what I would spend it on is the supply camp, because the supply camp is not an easy craft in all the mods 10. In fact, take a look at this. It needs boats with chests in, it needs iron bars, and it needs a white banner. Luckily, we've got one in a chest, so we don't have to worry about it. But if you're doing this at home, it's quite a tricky craft. Now, speaking of joining me at home, some of you guys like to ask for the seed. Our seed is... There you go, there's the number right there. I'll put this in the video description as well, but don't forget, we're also using large biomes, and our coordinates are roughly about 1000 by 70 by 1600. So if you go to that location, that is going to be right here. It's a nice island, hopefully it'll serve us well. While we wait for the glass, let's take a look and see if we can find some lava. So usually what people do is they go underground to find lava. That's a big mistake. There's no point going to the Nether. There's no point in going underground to find lava. All of what you'll need will be found on the surface. Look at this. If you take a look around, there's always just some surface pools of lava that you can find very easily. There we go, a nice big surface pool of lava. And like I said, if you want lava early game, this is absolutely the best way to get it. Don't dig for it, just find it on the surface. So glug, glug, and glug. 3 buckets of lava, that's going to be plenty. Let's go home. The other thing we needed to do was to get some cooked stone. So we'll put a few bits of coal in here and cook up. I think you get like 7 blocks per coal. Maybe it's 8. Probably divisible by 64. So we'll see if that gets us what we need. But for now, all we need is 1. So, oh my god, it's so good to be playing Minecolonies again and back in modded Minecraft. The last series we did was the Shire. Check it out, it was quite fun. But there was no real challenge there. If I'm being honest, the raids that happened were very easily dealt with. This, I'm kind of worried. I'm on the fence. This could be too hard. We could get absolutely destroyed. So we're going to have to keep our wits about us. So first up, we turn the glass into panes. Then we just need to do 1. And then another. and then another, and that gives us 3 iron farms. If we combine this with the 3 villagers we stole from a village, can you say stole? Maybe we say kidnapped. We kidnapped from the village, and we'll plonk them over here right next to our supply camp. And now you right click with the villagers you put in your pocket, they go into the iron farm, and what these guys will do is generate iron for us over time, just naturally. There's an inventory in here, and this will fill up with both iron ingots and also weirdly red poppies. But we can kind of leave that to do its thing. The next thing we want to make is going to be the most essential tool for our playthrough. We're focusing on medieval because Littleton is a very medieval style, so we're going to make ourselves a spell book from Ars Nouveau. So if I can find some books, I've got the iron, let's make the spell book. If I remember rightly, the spell book is a very simple craft indeed. All you need is an iron pickaxe, an iron axe, an iron shovel, an iron sword. Then you combine all of these with a book in your crafting table, and you have, there we go, a spell book. The spell book is really important because if we open this up using, I think by default, the C key, we can put in some essential spells. So the first essential spell we want to put down is Touch Dig. This is going to let us dig at an iron level without breaking a tool's durability very early on. So we'll call this Touch Dig. Spells in Ars Nouveau work very simply. There's a form and an effect. There's also loads of other glyphs and magical things that you can do to a spell. It gets very complicated, but the basics are you make a spell either ranged, touch, or self, and you give it an effect. We've only got harm and break at the moment, but honestly, those are probably the 2 most important things. So with Touch Dig, we can now, if we select this, using the mana bar in the bottom left, dig anything. This applies to wood, like that. Leaves, it'll get as well. It's really cool. Now, if you want it to be a ranged dig, which can be really useful for getting things off like the roofs of caves, you can also make something like that. So in spell slot number 2, we're going to go for projectile dig. And we're going to call this dig ball, because it's like a fireball, but you dig instead. And again, this is super useful. We can use this even to dig up our trees if we want to. Just by bam, bam, bam. There we go, get all of this. Now, Ultimine is usually better for things like this, but in a pinch, we can just do this instead. Now, there's been a few changes to Ars Nouveau, and this mod pack adds loads of extra additions to Ars Nouveau. We're going to go back into the spellbook, and let's change what the spell looks like. This is really cool. So there's a new bar down here called Spell Style, and this lets you fully customize your spells. So we want Projectile Dig, and the first thing we're going to do is change the color. So I'm thinking for color, we want, you know what, let's go rainbow. Let's be rainbow wizards this time around. And we're going to apply the rainbow color to all of these component parts. This is all really complicated, and you want to test this out yourself, experiment around. But first up, let's go for a body. So you can either shoot nothing, a cube, or a spike. Let's shoot a cube, that sounds cool. And the cube is going to be obviously rainbow. On spawn, we want a burst, because that sounds cool. We want a sound effect. Oh man, and you can choose through every single sound effect in the game, like dolphin. Okay, let's go for a dolphin spell. And honestly, we've made some crazy changes to this spell. Let's save it and see what this does to our ranged dig spell. Oh my god, this is going to be weird. Okay. Oh my god, it looks so cool though, doesn't it? It's not actually that bad. It is a bit annoying listening to a dolphin every time you shoot. But I love the fact that it makes a dolphin noise when it lands. That's so weird. So weird. We'll change that. We'll change this spell so it sounds a bit more normal, because I can't be going around like this. This is nuts. So while we've been messing around with spells, I reckon we've got some armor, and that probably means it's a good time to make ourselves a first set of iron armor. Now, if you can think of anything else you feel like I should be doing in these early stages of the game, don't forget to drop a comment telling me what's going on and what you think I should be up to. Let's turn off the visuals on the iron armor though, because it looks so ugly. Now you guys may have noticed, but I'm rocking a skin from a long time ago. This is the skin from the original Rule the World series, which I made like about 10 years ago. But I found it, it's still knocking around, I dusted off the cobwebs and brought it out of retirement to play in this series. So my dudes, we have a spellbook. We have a basic set of iron armor, looking pretty good. We have the Easy Villagers Iron Farm set up over at our supply camp. Dunny is underway constructing the portal. Might take her some time. And we've got some basic resources, some things to tie us over for now. What's the next step? Well, we're going to look into create now to make ourselves a very easy, very early tree farm. This should be very easy, but there's a few things we are going to, of course, need. Like, for example, we forgot to say a deployer. But there it is, a deployer. We'll put that in here too. So we'll start from the start. The first thing we need is a water wheel. So we need some shafts, some wood. We need andesite alloy. This is why we gathered the andesite, and I don't think we gathered enough. We only got, where is it, 55, which sounds like a lot, but turns out it actually isn't. Andesite alloy is basically the cornerstone of Create. It's pretty cool stuff, but it does require a huge amount of both iron and of andesite. So we'll put half and half here, 45, 22, whatever, there we go. And we have a nice amount here to get going with. But still, we're going to need way more. We are going to have to get some more andesite. That's why it can be a good idea to set up a Zycraft extractor for these, but we'll get to that in a bit. Next up, we want the shaft, like that, and we want the planks around the edge to make ourselves a water wheel. There it is. This is going to be the power for Create. If you don't know what Create mod is, oh my god, you guys are in for a treat. This is the most incredible Minecraft mod in the world. Look at this. So using Create, you can make all kinds of crazy, fantastic machinery. It's visually the most impressive Minecraft tech mod there is. It all works on like rotational force, like kinetic energy, shafts, gears, cogs, and belts. And I'm all about cogs and belts. It's so cool. To make this tree farm, however, we're going to need the water wheel. We're going to need something to connect to it, which is going to be shafts, which we have. Oh my god, there's so many things you need, but it's really worth getting into Create because it's very powerful. So there's some cog wheels. We'll make some more shafts. You can never have too many shafts. The tricky things from this tree farm to make are going to be the mechanical saw, because that needs iron plates. Luckily enough, we can use that ore hammer we made earlier. It's got another use. But there we go, we have 6 iron plates now. That should be enough for, I think, 3 mechanical saws. We also need andesite casing, and this is a bit trickier to make. So the first thing we're going to need for andesite casing is wood. Pretty simple, let's dig up some trees. Wait, is that redstone? Oh, it is! So I'm going to use my spellbook for this one because the spellbook digs at an iron level, and oh my god, yeah, look at this. Bit of redstone, don't mind. Oh, and gold! Oh, an even better find. Very nice. So the first thing we do is we strip the logs. We can do this pretty simply, I think, by putting the wood down like this. This is probably going to be the easiest way to do it for now. Use the Paxil to right-click and strip that bark away. Now we get the andesite alloy, right-click on this stripped wood, and it becomes andesite casing. Perfect. You need a lot of this casing, so it's always good to make a load. Now we're going to want 3 of these, I think, so we'll make 1, we'll make 2, but we know how this is done. The next thing we're going to have to make, and this is where things do get pretty tricky. Oh my god, they get crazy tricky indeed. We're going to have to get some rose quartz. Now rose quartz is actually quite hard to find. We're going to need redstone dust, we're going to need nether quartz, and that's why, oh my god, this is crazy. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think what we're going to have to do, my guys, is make a portal to the nether. We're going to go straight away to the nether in episode 1 just to grab a little bit of quartz, and I can think of a pretty cool way to do it. Now we're going to be making a mechanism basic tank for this, which is very easy now that we have this redstone. It's very simple indeed. So 2 tanks like this, 2 basic fluid tanks. Now we need to fill both of these tanks up with both water and lava. That should be super simple. You're going to want to change the mode of your tank to bucket mode. You can set the key for this under mechanism in controls and item mode. But one of these is going to be full of lava. And this can hold a lot of lava, I think around 32 buckets, which is going to be more than enough for us. And with the other tank, we do the same thing for water. Bucket mode on, right click, and just scoop up all of this water. And again, a tank full of water is going to come in really handy for us in the future. So we have everything we need now to make a nether portal. Now we need to build a place to put this. So we're going to hide our nether portal underneath our supply camp for now. And so here we go, one chamber has been cleared out. Take a look at this, yeah. So this is going to be the perfect size and shape for our nether portal. Now building this is super simple. We've got bucket mode on, hold shift and right click to put down 2 bits of lava here. Then we put down the water above, and bam, we have 2 obsidian. And so like this, very simply, very slowly, you can build the shape of a nether portal without needing a diamond pickaxe. It's a pretty cool tip, but honestly, I think it's one that most people knew already. And so sometime later, yeah, there we have the finished obsidian portal. Now we do need some flint and steel, which means we need to dig some gravel, get some flint. Can't believe I haven't got some flint already, but the coast is pretty close, so let's just go and dig some gravel. So, oh my god, I cannot believe we've made a nether portal in episode 1 of a Minecraft series I've played. Does this mean I'm actually getting good at the game now? No, perish the thought. But there we go, we can go into the nether now. I've got food, I've got enough stone to nerd pole around, but this is going to be a quick in and out to get just a little bit of nether quartz. So I'm not too worried about this. What's going to be interesting though is to see what our nether spawn is like. Okay, and not too bad to be honest. This is okay. I see some nether quartz immediately. This is all we're going to need. And there we go. Oh man, this is quite a big vein of quartz. This is going to be more than enough. Soul sand always comes in handy, so it's a good thing we found this. That's... oh no! Okay, it's a wither, so we're going. / home. Yeah, turns out episode 1, the nether is still pretty dangerous, so let's have a sleep. But the reason we went to the nether is a pretty simple one. We want rose quartz so we can make a deployer. We need deployers because we use deployers to put down saplings as part of our create tree farm. We're going to need some sandpaper for this, and guess how you make sandpaper, my dudes? Well, yeah, plot twist. You use sand. So the deployer, some redstone to make some rose quartz. We're going to make 2 of this because we might need 2. But we're running low on redstone and we don't want to run out of that. We're going to use the rose quartz with some sandpaper to polish it into polished rose quartz, and sandpaper is very simple to make. It's just sand and paper. So off to the coast to grab some sugarcane. Five bits of sugarcane is nice, but it's nowhere near as much as we're going to need. Now we don't really need wheat, so what we're going to do is we're going to repurpose this farm. We're going to make something called snad. Snad is incredible. It's just 2 sand combined together to make snad. What you do is we'll dig up this tilled earth here, put the snad down in its place, and what snad does is instantly grow either cactus or sugarcane once you put it on it. Look at that. So effectively we can just keep spamming this and double our sugarcane. It's a very useful trick early game. Sand and paper gets you sandpaper. We put this in our main hand, we put the rose quartz in our offhand, and if we hold right click, we shave this rose quartz into polished rose quartz. Okay, we're almost there. We're almost ready to make a deployer. The other thing we're going to need is a... oh my god, brass. We're going to need a brass hand. Brass hands are brass plates. Brass plates are brass ingots. And brass ingots are an alloy. Zinc and copper. So we are going to need some zinc before we can do this. Let's dump some stuff in here and go and find some zinc. And here it is. This is what we're looking for. It's one of the white ores. And oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Ah! Okay, so there is something down there. And it almost eviscerated me. That was nuts. There was a rude dude down there. Now, if I type back, it's going to put me right into the thick of the action. So I'm going to have some food first. Let's enter epic fight mode and get back to the action. Okay, where is he? So let's go third person. At the ready. Slam! Yes! Oh, it's working! Oh my god, epic fight mod. Right, this is the rude dude though. This is a skeleton with a sword. But if we can keep him stun locked with our left click attack, he doesn't have a chance to fight back. We got him! Oh, amazing! Let's get the zinc and get the hell out of here. Then these combined, I think it's 3 to 1, gets us brass. 20 brass dust. We'll have a sleep and get this smelted. Now it looks like the skeleton dropped us some armor. This first piece of rusted chainmail helm. What does this look like? What does this cosmetically look like? Okay, it looks okay. No, it looks terrible, but we'll leave it there because it's also got no durability. This is useless. So now we smelt the brass dust. This is going to be very good. Brass ingots combined with the copper ore hammer get us brass plates. We'll need 8 because this is quite an expensive recipe. We're looking for a brass hand. So we also need andesite alloy. We'll get the iron nuggets out of here. We've got some spare andesite, so we can make some on our person right now. Like that. Then the andesite at the top, the brass plates along the bottom like this, and there we go, 2 brass hands. Next up, we need the electron tube. This needs iron plates, so again, we have iron nuggets, which you can make back into ingots. It goes both ways. The hammer into the plate. Combine this with the rose quartz, so we're going to head back over to the camp. Man, I should really just combine these 2 camps. So we've got the polished rose quartz. We need iron plates as it was. So copper ore hammer, a bunch of iron ingots. And we'll make a few of these. 6 should do. Combine the iron plates with the polished quartz to get the tube, was it? Is it like this? There we go. 2 of those. And that, with the casing, should be everything we need. Yeah, here we go. 1. And a second one. Can we make a second one? It's pretty important that we do. Yeah, there we go. So we've got 2 deployers. We've got 2 mechanical saws. We've got a water wheel. What's next? Now we need the mechanical bearing. And again, this is also a very simple craft. We'll need a bit of wood. The spruce will do. Turn this into a plank. Why not? Open up my crafting table. Open up the mechanical bearing. We need slabs. So these become slabs. And here we go. Bam, the mechanical bearing. Oh my god, we're almost there. So let's get started with this very simple spruce tree farm. We're going to set it up over here, and this is only temporary. We're going to be moving to Minecolonies foresters to get this done. It's just for now, this is going to be a really good way to passively get loads and loads of spruce wood. So we'll put down some water for the water wheel, put down a piece of dirt, and attach the water wheel to it. And the water wheel is spinning because the water is flowing underneath it. But I think there's a better way of doing this. Let's dig everything up. We want our create tree farm to spin sideways. So what we're going to do instead is put the water wheel on the bottom, like this, sideways on. We're going to dig to the left and the right, and if we put the water over here, it should spin. Yeah, there we go. Now we're talking. We can also double the power by putting some water on this side as well. There we go. It doesn't spin any quicker, but it does have more force now. But this is 1 block too high, so we're going to lower this by 1. Now we put the mechanical bearing on top of this, like that, and that gives the mechanical bearing rotational force. Now what we need to do is add the actual mechanism, so we can hide all of the workings of this underneath. Cover this over with dirt. There we go. It's like it never happened. Amazing. The next thing we need is some chassis. So this radial and linear chassis is exactly what we're looking for. We need andesite alloy and stripped logs. Not a problem. We do need some more andesite, so we'll just go digging for that. Honestly, like I said, andesite is the real thing that holds you back at this point. Now here we go, linear chassis. You get 3 for every craft of this, so it's a pretty good return. Don't know if we'll need more than 6. We'll go to 9 just in case. And I think, my dudes, we are about ready to start building our tree farm. So the first thing we do is we put a linear chassis on top of the mechanical bearing. Like this. Then we come out by, I guess, maybe 2 blocks. Like that. But we'll go 3 just in case, because we might need this thing to be bigger than I had planned. Let's just fill in that hole for now. There we go. Now we need to put the mechanical saws on this. These are going to spin around and dig the trees as they come into contact with them. We need to make sure we know which way this thing is spinning, so we're going to activate the mechanical bearing right now. There we go. Okay, so it's spinning anti-clockwise. But we'll stop it when it's level with the saws, like that. Okay. Now, on top of here, we also need to put down 2 more, because we're going to want to put some deployers now as well. These deployers are going to put down saplings in the wake of the device. Now, this is probably bigger than it needs to be, but yeah. And these are both pointing at the ground. Now, to make sure these are actually putting down what you want them to put down, we're going to have to go and grab some spruce saplings. So with the spruce saplings in hand, you now right-click on these blocks on the side of the deployers, and this is going to tell the deployer to put down spruce saplings. Now, I know what you're thinking. Where are these spruce saplings going to come from? Well, a create machine acts as like its own unit. Everything attached to the create machine has rotational force, so we don't need to feed these weird cogs at the side any power. It all comes from the water wheel down below. The same thing for these mechanical saws. But we do need to attach some storage as well to this bad boy. So we're going to go over here with the spruce logs, make ourselves 4 chests, and we're going to put these chests on the back like this. Now if we put the spruce saplings inside here, the machine thinks it has these in its inventory. The last piece of the puzzle for this tree farming device is to glue it all together, and that is where things might get a bit tricky. We're going to need to make some super glue. Now the iron plate we can do, the iron nuggets we can do easily as well. The last piece of the puzzle is going to be slime balls. But how do we get slime balls? There might be an easy way of doing this. We only need a few of them. If we smelt jellyfish, we can't do that. How are we going to get slime, my dudes? Do you know what? I think the easiest way might be for us to just make some lime dye and some dough. Dough is pretty simple. It's wheat flour with water. You have to grind up the wheat in a mill. So we can make one of these very simply. Man, it's really convoluted, and this is probably much harder than actually just making a forester's hut. But it's cool, and create is very cool, so I want to do it. So a millstone, here we go. We need andesite casing, we need a cogwheel. We have the cogwheel, we have the andesite casing. I think we actually have everything we need for this. So that's going to be very simple. We also need a way to turn this, so we're going to just go manual with this one and make a hand crank. If you don't want to bother with water wheels, you can make one of these bad boys. It's just planks along the middle, andesite alloy on the bottom, and you get yourself a hand crank. Combine this with a cogwheel, and the millstone will work. We'll put this over with the other machines over here, keep them all nice and neat and together. So the millstone goes down, the cogwheel goes next to it. This is going to turn the mill. Then we put the crank on the cogwheel, and if we turn this, the millstone will turn. Okay, cool. Now we just add wheat to the millstone, and this should make us the flour we need. Luckily enough, oh yeah, all of this wheat has grown. Very good. And you just toss this inside, so Q, 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 and spin the hand crank. Here we go. We should get an achievement for this, actually, if we play our cards right. And there we go. That is all the flour ground up. Eat some oranges, because you know what? Grinding a crank is hungry work. And if we take a look inside, right click, we've got the flour. Amazing. Combine this with water, and there we go, making dough. We'll make 3, because why would you stop at 1? So we're halfway there. We have the dough. The next thing we need is lime dye. Lime dye could be green dye and white dye, but green dye is cactus, and that could be hard to find. Instead, I think we'll have more luck either finding a green tulip, a green bioshroom, or some lime snowbell. Yeah, if we look around, we'll find some green flowers, I'm fairly sure. Yeah, do you know what? No luck on the mangosteens or on the green tulips. Maybe there's another way. Well, we could try and make a market. That could come in handy. A market, all we need is an emerald, so we can raid a village for some emeralds. There's... Oh! Hello. Green dye, yes! Exactly what we need. Okay, whew. Mischief managed. Let's go home. So iron into shears to gather plant material. Then we turn logs into planks, turn the planks into slabs. Now we can make a composter, if I can remember the recipe. There it is. The composter, oh man, so quick fire. The composter goes down. We might as well add some berries because berries are useless. Hate them. And we'll use the shears to go and grab some leaves. Why not? All we need is enough for one bone meal, so the grass as well, and bone meal. Perfect. The bone meal becomes white dye. The white dye combines with the green dye to make lime dye. The lime dye, and oh, there we go. It was that simple, and we'll make two slime balls. Amazing. And that should be everything we need to make some glue. Amazing. So now we just gather all of this machine with the glue. This works kind of like a world edit axe. If you know what that is, you just right click on one spot, which will be the deployer up here. And then you right click on another, like there, and it will glue everything in that box together. Again, we're going to try and grab the chest in this one. Now with the second box, we grab the chest, and this thing is all glued together now. So I think, in theory, our tree farm should work. And let's pull the trigger on this, see if our tree farm works. It should do. I don't see why it wouldn't. Here we go. It's going around. Okay, perfect. So as you can see, the deployers have placed down the spruce sapling. Now, I'm wondering if we want two deployers here, because at the moment, this is going to try and grow a big tree. We don't want it to do that. We want to grow a small tree because big trees kind of mess up the land. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop the machine and we're going to remove just one of these deployers. There we go, but that should be enough. We'll remove also two of the saplings and let's start the machine again. Now this is a very basic tree farm because to get to the actual chest, we do need to stop the machine. Oh my god, are we gonna kill? Oh, maybe we're gonna kill. Yes, come over here, wandering villager. Step into the saw. Yes, oh, it's also a wandering villager farmer. Unfortunately, though, he did run away. He did escape. That's a bit of a shame. So here we go, a bit of bone meal. Let's splash some bone meal on these spruce. They should grow pretty quick. Oh, there we go, bone meal up. So the saw is gonna spin around and dig, 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 dig. It's going to gather everything in this tree. There we go. Now, automatically, all of the saplings that it gathered from that tree go into that chest. The deployers then pull the sapling, as it is, from the chest and put it down. And the whole thing repeats. Then we can leave this to run for like a couple of hours, come back over here, stop the mechanism with an open hand, like that, check the chest, and boom. There's 6 spruce logs in here for now, but when we come back next time, we're going to have loads more. Let's get this thing back up and running. That's amazing. Well, we've made some amazing progress this episode. Look at this. So we've got the iron farms done. We've been to the Nether and got some quartz. That's insane. We've got a millstone, a composter, some snad with some sugarcane. We've done some insane work for episode 1. This is nuts. Next thing we're going to do is actually do some Minecolonies building. Let's get this colony actually placed. Now, the mission brief was simple. We need to protect Dunsilfrenius as she is building the portal. So the number 1 block we have to place is the town hall, and we're going to put this pretty close to the portal. I think up here will be a good spot. So let's take a look and see what this thing looks like. We're in the Littleton pack. We're going to fundamentals. We want the town hall, and here we go. Now, why are we using Littleton? Well, for one, it's cool. It's kind of new. It's not in the usual kind of set of buildings. There's also a pretty cool series that Daenestra made that you can check out. There's a link to that series in the description. But yeah, It's a really cool style. It's all based on a very small build style. So basically every foundation for Littleton is roughly 11 by 11. That means all the buildings are really small and everything is really achievable. It's also a style that means you don't have to go to the end for most buildings. So getting this up to level 5 is going to be much, much easier. And I think, yeah, this is going to be enough room. It's far away enough from the portal so we're not messing up Dulcimphreneus and where she's going to build this thing. But I think right here is quite good. We'll build some stairs to come down here so you can get up to this thing and get down from it quite easily. But I think this is looking pretty good. Pull the trigger on this. At level 5, oh man, at level 5 it does look pretty cool. But again, it looks nice and small. None of these buildings from the Littleton style are overly huge. So, oh man, yeah, look at that machine in the background running. Very cool. So it means we're going to be able to get 500 dudes because we can squeeze loads and loads of buildings in a very small space. So we're going to right click, press the tick, and we're happy with this positioning. Now here it is, the big moment of truth. So we're going to right click, and this is a placeholder name for the moment. Placeholder name. I want you guys in the comment section right now to let me know what you think we should be calling our colony. Remember, we're going to be a magical colony that's all about a massive army to defend Dulcimphreneus building her portal. And we need a name that reflects that's what it is. We're going to sign the covenants, go straight in. The name pack is, of course, French. Why is it French? Well, because we've changed the French name pack to be very different. We also want the style to be medieval because, yeah, we're going for a very medieval vibe this time around. And the colony color, we're going to go for orange or gold. These work really well because they contrast against the map much better than things like green. Now, as you can see, with the French name pack, well, we missed one guy. Ignore him. I had to change the data pack over. But yeah, all of the civilians are named either Lady or Mr. or Mrs. and then civilian, colonist, whatever as the last name. That's because all the colonists are going to arrive with placeholder names. We're then going to go in with a name tag and give them names that you guys have submitted to me, either in the comment section of this video, if you're a YouTube member, or on the community Discord. There is a channel where you can also submit your names as well. We're going to put those in name tags and make sure everybody on the colony has a name from a member of the community, so you guys at home can help me defend Dulcimphreneus building her portal. That's very cool news. There's a link up above in the corner of the video right now as well for how you can become a member. But we can't build the town hall until we've got the builder's hut, so let's craft one of those as well. The builder's hut should be pretty simple to craft. It's just a door, I believe. The door in the middle, the planks around the edge, the build tool on top, and there we go, we have the builder's hut. Now, I'm feeling like it might be good to make 2 builder's huts to start with. We're going to be doing a lot of building very quickly, so I feel like let's do that. And we're going to put these either side of our initial town hall. This is going to be amazing. So the first 2 builders, doesn't really matter who we pick. It could be Mrs. Civilian over here. It could be anybody. We can skip the quests because we all know how this works. So builder number 1 is Colonne des Champs. I'm going to rename him with a name tag with some of your suggestions, but for now he's Colonette. And there we go, yeah, so this area is nice and clear. We'll put some stone tools inside these builders' huts. So into the builder's hut inventory, and there we go. And the same thing over here. Then we're going to go over, gather up the spruce that we gathered so far. We can also dig up the spruce trees we have over here, because that's exactly why we made these. And all of the build requirements for this building are spruce. Look at this, there's a tiny bit of oak, but it's all just spruce stairs, spruce logs, spruce fence, spruce stairs. Tiny bit of dirt, a crafting table, and a spruce sign. Honestly, very simple indeed. Oh yeah, look at that. That's a nice amount of spruce. 55 logs already. And we've barely even started with this tree farm. This is going to get us all the spruce we need. Let's get this turned into stairs and other bits and bobs. So here we go, the first 2 buildings of our town. Remember, keep those comments coming in for a name you think would work well. The Littleton style is so good because all the level 1 buildings pretty much exclusively need very easy to get woods, spruce and oak. That's going to make building a lot of buildings to level 1 very quick, very easy. We're going to have to make sure we keep a warehouse stocked full of this spruce stuff, but the create farm we have set up for the spruce wood is going to be a massive boon. Anyway, here they are, the builders' huts. They look pretty okay for level 1. What a great place to end the episode. So Dunny, how long do you think until this portal is going to be ready? Because I'm worried about these raids.
You should definitely be worried. Just leave things here to me. Focus on our defenses, or we'll be finished when the barbarians arrive.
Well, okay, we have our work cut out for us, but we know exactly what we want to do. So a massive thank you for watching this episode, my dudes. Things are, progressing really quickly over here on the colony. We need a name, so put that in the comments section. Don't forget you can become a Patreon or YouTube member to submit your name and join us in the defense of Dunsulfrenius and the colony. But until next episode, my dudes, thank you for watching and take care.